Welcome to Market Tea Tuesday,
where the tea is always hot. Market Tea Tuesday.
Piping hot. It is like neck and neck with this heat advisory we're dealing with.
Listen, what's the hot topic? I know, this heat advisory.
Other than the heat advisory, I'm kidding.
I mean, the number one thing people are talking about is the Fed going to lower rates this week? Or,
yeah,
the answer
no,
is
they're
probably
not going
not.
to. No.
And the good thing is why is that if they do move them down, it actually will probably be worse for us because the market is currently expecting. So markets operate on future projections. So They're expecting rates to stay the same right now. And we have a lot of things coming out this week, like job numbers, things like that, like lots of things that are but I think rates will kind of stay flat through that. Now, Then guess what? All of them go on vacation because what's it without August and September-ish off, And so I think and so nothing will happen there. And I really think that we'll start to see some things move at the beginning of the year. So let's watch out for that. So
yeah, and I do see due to this whole interest rate talk and if there's going to be any cuts or not, believe it or not, it's somehow also impacting the inventory, right? Because homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer, inventory is stacking up, and we've been preaching this for some time already. It's a buyer's market. Buyers have the negotiating power, so it is definitely a great time to get in the market for our buyers. Now, as far as how long the homes are sitting on the market, that's going to depend by market, right? Like we can't compare, Central Florida to Miami, or anywhere else.
Even like middle Wisconsin or something. You can't compare.
Yeah, it's just not going to be. Yeah, but on average, homes are sitting on the market for about 27 days. It's last I read, and prices. We are seeing some of home prices drop, right, in some of the markets. So just if you're seeing that in your market, definitely keep an eye on that and reach out to a professional to kind of go through that and see how that impacts you as a buyer or a seller.
Yeah. And the thing is like 30% of houses literally sold cash, and then 21% only sold at list price. So they sold at or above list price. So, and those had to be creme de la creme,
Yeah. And I think this is going back to the whole, it's a buyer's market. Like when we say that is because we're not seeing multiple offers for the same property. Whereas back in 2020, 2021, it was 15 plus, multiple offers, people are paying over asking, all the things. So you definitely have an advantage as a buyer right now. And then something else that I found interesting was home equity lines of credit. I know you preach these all the time. But some of the data that comes with, what we're seeing is that we're up 7.2% from last year on HELOCs. And it's not your typical, hey, I want to redo my bathroom. I want to redo my kitchen.
No, I want to pay off my equity.
Exactly. And I think HELOCs, yes, it's a great option, right? However, we have tools like the blended rate calculator, which we think we need to use a little bit more, right? Because when we get an individual's like monthly debts and all the things, and we're able to say, hey, you can let go of that 3% rate if that means you're going to save $2,000 a month by combining everything and, just doing a refinance, paying off the debt, all the things. So definitely know that those resources are out there and we have access to them.
Yeah.
But the HELOC is awesome, I have to say. I've had it where people are able to tap into their investment properties to buy, something else or. Yeah. So it's great. And it's in 5 days.
And something else, if we want to talk about expenses, I know insurance is a hot topic, but the lumber tariff escalation's up. Like lumber is expensive. And guess what that means? It does not mean anything for builders, things like that. That's an important thing to know. We just had a class on this too. Is those people have contracts for years, like their prices aren't moving because they're the main buyers, but it's for insurance companies because when they have to rebuild or do a claim, like these people are estimating on current cost. And so with that said, guess what happens? Your insurance costs go up because that cost gets passed on to them whenever they have to rebuild or there's things like that. And so I think that's important to note as well. it's important in our thing. It's not the new builds that we're thinking. It's actually opposite. And it's these insurance companies.
Yeah. I mean, I was blown away by that, by the way, because I was like, oh, who's going to be the first impact? Like home buyers. No, it's insurance providers.
Yeah. And another big thing is most people may or may not know who Barry Habib is, but Barry Habib is an awesome predictor and really into our market and everything. He actually used to be a Broadway star turned broker turned market trend. And he's actually won the Crystal Ball Award. So as we all joke and say, hey, we don't have a crystal ball, he's won that award twice just for market predictions and so forth. So he actually just got a seat on the board at Fannie Mae, which is really huge because it's really going to help our industry and our market really see where things are going for buyers. So I think that's really important and a big thing to know as well when we're talking about the market.
Yes. I mean, if we have someone with a crystal ball on the board, I mean, we may get some things moving and shaking over here.
Yeah.
Now, as far as I think, wait, hold on. I think that's all we really had to cover today, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's important. Again, talk to your buyers about buying. It's hot this summer. Let's get out there. Like, let's get people in houses before rates do come down, because then it's going to be so hard to get your buyers. Almost every buyer that I'm pre-qualifying needs closing cost assistance because it's so expensive out here in this world. They cannot save enough money for that. I think that's really important to note. So get your buyers into houses and get those seller concessions now. Remind your sellers we're not in 2021. People aren't paying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over value. Okay. So that's important to note as well.
Yes. No, I think, I mean, I can speak for myself, and I think we've said this a couple of times on here. A lot of the contracts that I've been getting, almost every contract this year thus far, has seller concessions. I'm not even bluffing on that. Like almost every contract. If I go back, I'm pretty sure every contract had seller concessions.
Yeah, I have one today with 6% seller concessions. Listen, that's what the market we're in. Get your buyer into that. I can buy down their rate into the 5s easily. So it's important to know.
And kudos to the agents that are willing to negotiate that 6% for you. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to shout out my girl Danielle Hughes with the KGV crew. We have a client right now, and she's like, I'm going to go for the 6%. I'm like,
all they can say is no.
She's like, I'm going to go for that 6%. And guess what? We're going.
Same. I have a new realtor, and she went for the 6% and she got it for her client. Amazing. They were only going to ask for 3 or 4. So it's hot. Ashley had
so work with an agent that is going to go all out for you. Let me tell you, because it will benefit you. We're able to buy the rate down. If all pans out the way that we're hoping for, this buyer will literally just come with their down payment. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else. And they're buying their interest rate down by a whole point. So,
and we have time for other things, but we'll keep doing Tuesday market updates, and we're excited for what's in the future. And I think things are going to continue to shift, but for right now, I think they're going to stay flat and get your buyers in the buyer's market. So thank you for joining us again. And we wait to see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.